Hello, everybody. This is Ron Dittmars talking to you from the Erasmus Academy Recording Studios, and our guest today is Chad. Chad, you want to say hello?
How are you, Ron?
Great, great. Okay. A little bit more background on the history of the Fraktur before we go into this next small passage. Just to say that this week is a series of exercises in identifying the letters and reading the text in Fraktur, which you will probably encounter in your research if you do anything in early 20th or 19th century texts. It was printed. It was created when the German Emperor Maximilian, who reigned from 1493 to 1519, decided to establish a splendid library of printed books. And he directed that a new typeface would be created, especially for this purpose. It's interesting that based on the handwriting used in the scribes of the Emperor's chancellery, the calligrapher Leonard Wagner designed a typeface to these specifications that soon became known as pronounced Fraktur for the broken character of its lines. Very interesting. Only 4 of Maximilian's planned 130 editions were completed in his lifetime, and Fraktur would have quickly vanished, but the books that were in fact completed had been sent for illustration to the foremost German Renaissance artists, Dürer and Cranach. These artists became inspired by the novel typeface and used it in their publications. So it's very interesting that these artists at that time realized the beauty and the elegance of the writing, and they helped to popularize it and became the standard writing at that time. So this is just an example that you see here on the screen, and there's another one here, The Life of Pablo, appropriate for German, right?
Yeah.
Chad? Good.
Yes.
Okay. Then, okay, here's our next section right here. It's called Sturm und Drang, so 27 portion number 4. So we're going to read this, and I'll read out loud, and Chad will repeat after me. Please read with him, and then we'll just identify the grammar so we can work together. But again, our purpose is to identify and be able to read clearly the letters that are in this script. Okay, here we go. Der Sturm und Drang, and by the way, the Sturm und Stress or Sturm und Drang is a period in German literature that was sort of brought into focus or stimulated by the writings of Goethe and Schiller. Basically, Goethe was sent to Strasbourg to study to study law, but on the side and primarily he studied literature, and he actually read Shakespeare for the first time and was very moved by Shakespeare's writings, as well as the great architecture of the Strasbourg Cathedral. So that's the sort of the origin of the Sturm und Drang period in German literature. Okay, let's read some. Here we go. Der Sturm und Drang ist eine Bewegung in der deutschen Literatur. Everybody?
Der Sturm und Drang ist eine Bewegung in der deutschen Literatur.
Okay, where's your verb?
Ist.
Ist. So that's an S, not an F, right there. Okay, let's see. And this is a B. Now this W here, this is actually a W, although it doesn't look like one. It looks like an M with the horizontal parts covered at the top of the letter. And then here's a Deutschen, another example of an S. Looks like an F, but it's not. It's an S. How would you translate that sentence?
The Sturm und Drang is a movement in German literature.
Great. Going on. Die Bewegung hatte eine verhältnismäßig kurze Dauer. Everybody?
Die Bewegung hatte eine verhältnismäßig kurze Dauer.
So up to that point, where's your verb?
Hatte.
Good. And subject?
Bewegung.
Yeah. This actually, the Weg means the way. So Bewegung is a movement. It looks like a M, but it's a W here. Let's see what else is different. Verhältnismäßig. This is 2 S's written together in Fraktur. And this is a funny letter. What letter is this right here?
That's a K.
It's a K. It doesn't look like a K, but
No.
that's just have to get a matter used to that. And reading it in context really helps you if you know some of the vocabulary. How would you, and this is an adverb meaning relatively, verhältnismäßig. How would you do that first part?
The movement had a relatively short duration.
going on. Von ungefähr dem Ende der 60er, everybody.
Von ungefähr dem Ende der 60er
Bis in den Anfang der 80er Jahre
bis in den Anfang der 80er Jahre
des 18. Jahrhunderts.
des 18. Jahrhunderts.
Okay, and this means approximately, ungefähr, from, they're going to give you what the duration is, from the end of, and this is a 60, ER just means from the 60s is what this means. But here, what letter is this here, Chad?
It's an A.
Doesn't look like an A, but we know that Anfang means the beginning, and this is a real F, not a fake F. It's a F instead of an S, and then here you have it from the 80s again. Okay, just you want to do that sentence from approximately?
Yes, from approximately the end of the 60s up into the beginning of the 80s, I think you can skip the Jahre, of the 18th century.
Perfect, yeah. And this is the S for the possessive of the 18th century. Good. Sie wurde von vielen einheimischen und ausländischen Einflüssen angeregt.
Sie wurde von vielen einheimischen und ausländischen Einflüssen angeregt.
Good. Where's your verb complex?
Okay, this is compound here. It's wurde and angeregt.
Good, angeregt. So anregen means to inspire. Aufregen means to excite. So this is remember this is a past participle with the GE augment showing the past tense sandwiched between the several prefix and the main verb, regen, anregen, to inspire. And so what does Z refer back to? What is its antecedent?
I think it's Bewegung.
Good, yeah, it's back here, Bewegung. So it's feminine, that's why this is Z, has to agree with its antecedent. So Z, it was inspired, and then einheimischen, or Heim means home. Let's see if there are any letters that we need to look at, Chad. Here's another S. So Heim means home, so it means you could say indigenous for this word. And Ausland, land means land, Ausland means a foreign land, and from foreign, again, influences. So here you have two, an F here and two S's here to distinguish between those two. Hardly distinguishable. So you want to do that sentence?
Sure. It was inspired by many indigenous and foreign influences.
Great. Von den letzteren werden wir nur Edward Young, einen Englischen, up to that point.
Von den letzteren werden wir nur Edward Young, einen Englischen,
und Jean-Jacques Rousseau, einen französischen Schriftsteller, erwähnen.
Und Jean-Jacques Rousseau, einen französischen Schriftsteller erwähnen.
Französischen.
Yeah, I hate that word. Französisch. Okay.
Where's your verb complex?
It's werden erwähnen, I believe.
Good. All the way to the end. Yeah. Werden, erwähnen. That's just a future tense. Werden plus the infinitive. Erwähnen means to mention. So how would you translate that verb complex by itself?
They will mention.
Good. You correctly added a pronoun, which indicates that it's plural that you're looking for. And where's the subject?
Well, it's actually wir, so it's
right.
We
yeah.
will mention.
And again, this looks like an M, but it's really a W. And let's look at what else. How about this? This looks like a B, but it really is a V. Von den letzteren. And this means the latter. So they're going to refer to the foreign influences here. So among the latter, i.e. influences, and then let's see. You want to translate this up to this point, just from the latter?
Sure. From the latter, or among the latter, I think we will only mention Edward Young.
Good.
An Englishman.
Good. An English, and then why is this an accusative here, Chad?
Well, because it's referring back to the direct object, so it
Mhm.
needs to be an accusative form.
Yeah, and here's your direct object. In other words, proper nouns don't have any indication that they are the direct object. There's no Dane there, but this is an apposition to Edward Young. Who is Edward Young? He's in English, and then also Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and then this is the direct object here, a Schriftsteller, a writer, or an author. You want to do the whole sentence?
Sure. From among the latter, we will mention only Edward Young, an English, and Jean-Jacques Rousseau, a French author.
Great, wonderful. Okay, thanks for joining us, and talk to you soon. Thanks, bye-bye.